Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here. I just want to thank everyone for joining us. This is an exciting day. This is the start of our International Women of Blockchain event that we're bringing to you. I can't say enough how grateful I am for the committee members that have joined me and helped me create this event. What is it? Less than 2 months ago, we came down this adventure of trying to showcase women in blockchain and different things that they are involved in. And it's very important that we show representation, that we show that we are involved in this ecosystem and we're building. I was fortunate enough to meet a whole host of women across the globe who are very excited to showcase their work, to present it, and onboard more people into this space. And I'm excited to present them to you. But first, I want to introduce our committee members and make sure that they get all the Kool-Aids and flowers that they deserve. I'm going to start with Natasha.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So, yes, my name is Natasha Riemann, and I have been on the planning committee for this event, this celebration of the International Women of Blockchain that we're going to be doing for this entire month of March. I also will be serving as a host throughout the event. Just a little bit about myself. I was introduced to this space last year in 2021 through NFTs and my daughter, who is an artist. And we successfully minted our first collection on OpenSea. The name of the collection is My Dark Cats. One of the biggest things that happened was that Nyla Hayes of the Long Necky Ladies became a collector. So she has her own dark cat now, and they're still available on OpenSea. Also, as I am a mom in real life, I too am a mom in the metaverse. And another thing that I've taken on, as I noticed there were a lot of kids in the spaces, and I wasn't sure if their parents were really familiar with where their kids were, I've decided to start educating and giving awareness to parents and educators on how to prepare their kids for the space and how to make it the safest space possible. If you want to keep up with my daughter's collection, or you're interested in having me speak or moderate an event, you can find me at my website, natashariemann.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. Really appreciate it. Next, we are going to go with Tam. Tam, can you please come on stage? Hi, Tam.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm so excited to be here. I really can't express what it means to be a part of this event. I've been a part of the committee, and just seeing everything to come together has been amazing. Getting a chance to speak with all these different women who have various businesses and various interests and really are change makers to this space has been just a blessing. And I'm really excited about this entire month-long event. My name is Tam Fitzgerald, by the way. I am a financial advisor. I utilize insurance products to help families and individuals begin to create their generational wealth. And along with retirement planning, I also am an international mukbanger and content creator, which means I travel around the world. I'm currently coming to you guys from Mexico, Merida, Mexico, and I eat food and I document my experience on social media. I'm happy to be in this space because I'm not what people would say is a traditional techie person, but one thing I've learned over my 1 year of being in this space is that it really is a space for everyone, and every woman has a place here. And I really cannot express just how excited I am. If you would like to, I'm going to be hosting and moderating as well. And if you'd like to reach out to me about financial products or coming to eat at your restaurant or anything like that, you can find me on social media. It's Fitzgerald, Fitz Finance HTX. I'm sorry, Fitz Finance HTX on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, I'm Fitz Finance. And then for my mukbanging, it's a mouth-watering ode on all platforms. Thank you guys. I'm so excited. And
Thank you, Tam. We're just as excited as you are. I think next up, we're going to be bringing up some more of our committee members.
Yes. Well, next up, we will be bringing up Nija. Nija, great to see you. Good morning. Really excited about this. All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, ladies, and the fabulous men that support us that are watching. I just want to say good morning. I am super excited about this stellar event. I mean, I cannot say it. Oh, I'm a part of it, but just to have watched what you fabulous women have done to bring this conference to actual reality just was incredible. And so I just don't even feel like I have done anything compared to the beauty that you have made this event. So I just want to say, well done. I know we have just begun, and this is history, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely history. We're super excited. I'm super excited about being here today. So my name is Nigel Roberts, and I own one of the only brick and mortar cryptocurrency exchanges in the U.S. So basically what that means is you can walk into my establishment and buy and sell cryptocurrency. We have a big focus on educating our community. I tell everybody I'm not building Silicon Valley or I've built Silicon Beach. I'm building Silicon hoods. And I am coming to a hood near you because it is my goal to make sure that everyone in our community has access to all the fabulous things that we're going to be talking about in the coming weeks here on this fabulous conference. So with that, again, I am super excited. Anything that I can do to be of service in your community, please reach out to me. I have a Crypto Kids camp as well. We are working with several organizations to make sure that those camps are in your area as well. Just looking forward to this whole opportunity. You all have an incredible day. Again, if you need me, I am Nigel Roberts on all social media. Just Nigel Roberts, no underscore, no spaces, no any of that. Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you, Naja. Next, we're going to be bringing up another committee member. We have Anna.
Sorry for that. I just realized it was I was muted. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really thankful for Inca to bring all these women together. What we have planned for the month of March is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for everyone that supported this event, and I cannot wait to hear all the women that are going to speak. So about me, my name is Isabel Ulet. I'm a fine art portrait photographer focused on empowering women. So my journey with crypto actually began with NFTs. I joined the NFT space in March last year, and I haven't left it since. It has been amazing. And I also use this space to empower women, not only through my photography, but also I have a group called NFT Goddesses, dedicated to supporting women artists in the NFT space. We have over 300 members, and we, as a group, we try to also support people outside of the crypto community. So right now, we're going to have a collection that is going to launch today at 7:30 GMT, so UK time. Which is trying to raise funds for the situation for the war that is happening in Ukraine. So if you would like to check that, you can check our Twitter at NFT Goddesses. You can also know more about me and my photography and how I empower women. I have a project called Witches in Sears, which is based on ancient goddesses, and it's all about celebrating women. So if you want to know about me, check me also on Twitter at Isabel_photo. Thank you once again for being here. I'm so proud of everyone and really grateful to be here.
Thank you very much, Anna Isabel. Really excited to have you here. I'm fortunate that you were able to be part of our committee members. We're also fortunate to have so many great women as part of the committee members for this particular event. You're going to see a lot more women all across the blockchain ecosystem showcasing their work and presenting you with opportunities to network and tap into them. But first, let's go ahead to Nicole. Nicole has been instrumental in our production here for the event. Come on up, Nicole.
All right. Hey, guys. It's Nicole. I am happy to be here. I'm Nicole Maxwell. I am the CEO of Black Multiverse Enterprises, as well as the CEO and founder of Blackverse, which is a club on Clubhouse. That club is dedicated to the education, training, and advancement of Black people across the decentralized metaverse and multiverse. I am also the CEO of Technical Consulting, where I help you become a little bit more technically savvy on your way into the metaverse. We are excited to have you here with us today. We've put a lot of work into making sure that this event is not only something that is fun, but also a little educational for you. You are guaranteed to be inspired, empowered, and surely we appreciate you being here to help us celebrate women all across the blockchain and especially the decentralized blockchain. This is Nicole, and my voice is resting. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Really excited to have you on this committee planning, and also that you're going to host the metaverse portion on Friday. So I'm excited to have you there. You're welcome. And up next, we have more ladies to showcase to you. Backstage, we have Pamela. Pamela, please come on stage. Hi, Pamela. Just like any event, you're going to run into technical issues while she's getting her mic situated. I'm going to, wait a little bit and just have Pamela come back up on stage. But, this event is created and run by women. However, we want to make sure that everyone in the ecosystem, as well as outside the ecosystem, feel welcome. We welcome everyone to this event. We want to make sure that you guys find opportunities as well as showcase, be able to see various showcases. We have another committee member that is coming up. Corey, come on up to the stage. Hey, Corey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, just getting my day started, got my coffee. Hello, how's everyone out there?
Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, so what's happening? I'm so happy to be here, so proud to be a part of this committee. As everybody who's listening out there knows, we know that we're building Web3 even as we speak, and that we're creating it to be the environment, the kind of place that we want it to be. And the power is back in the hands of the people. And I especially want that power to be distributed equally for women, and especially women of color. So I could not be prouder to be part of this committee.
Thank you very much, Corey. We are fortunate to have you being part of this committee as well. I want to bring up a next individual, Lavina. Lavina, please come up to the stage. Hi, Lavina. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Thank you. A very warm good afternoon from Africa. How are you?
I'm good. I know that you've been instrumental in getting us to start with this event planning, as well as you're going to be a host. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Oh, brilliant. Thanks so much for the opportunity. So I'm Lavina, fondly known as the AI mom who speaks Africa. Been involved in technology for as long as my gray hairs have been around, or if not longer. So yeah, a little bit about me. Been very much involved in the blockchain space for at least the last 8 odd years, give and take. From a policy perspective, all the way to startups and helping to coach and mentor them, together with investments on the space and the front. I think this has come at such an opportune time frame. Everybody being talking about blockchain, and if you feel over inundated, you're not alone. And I think this particular conference being held over the next month is an amazing opportunity for us to really tap into some of the great minds, within the space. And I really look forward to delving and picking everyone's brains. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And I look forward to getting to know every single one of you. So let's go ahead and celebrate her.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, everyone, we have a few hashtags, and for Women History Month, this is the first day of our event and the first day of Women History Month. Our first hashtag is hashtag celebrate her, as well as hashtag empower her. It's very important that females in the space know that they are celebrated, as well as they are supported. So one of the individuals that we want to make sure that she's supported and showcased, we're going to bring back Pam and make sure that she gets her opportunity to present who she is, as well as what she's bringing to the blockchain ecosystem.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm just excited to get to the business of this whole month. So many amazing speakers. I'm Pamela Daniels. I am the CEO and founder of the Brickarati Group. We are a public relations and business development firm that has recently discovered in September of 2021 the blockchain ecosystem and all things cryptography. And we are enjoying not only our own self-actualized journey of really discovering how to fully leverage and integrate Web3 solutions, but really bringing our clients along that journey as well, and really introducing them to the amazing ecosystem that does exist. And I do hail all things Nicole Maxwell in that regard as well. So I'm really excited to connect with small businesses. And that'll be the last time I use that term. I call it family businesses, because what we do is not small. And we power communities. And so I'm really excited to connect with women who are just learning how they can fully realize and like I said, integrate their concepts into the Web3 or decentralized way of thinking. And so I'm really excited to do that and connect with all of you women who connect with us today in the Women of Blockchain Discord. And let's get to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pam. Really appreciate it. Yes, we have so many wonderful women in this committee as well as this event. I wanted to see if we have our last committee member. All right, so unfortunately, that is it. We have two more committee members that unfortunately were not able to join us this morning. We have Teresa Kennedy, who has helped in presenting us with different individuals that we can introduce to the space and become speakers. And then we have Sabrina Bonini, who is from Spain. She's been instrumental in helping us get our sponsors, as well as get other organizations to join us in this event. So we just want to say thank you very much, Sabrina. Sabrina is actually out of the country. She is in South America right now, and she'll be featured later on in this event. So we want to thank everyone for joining us. I know it is trying times right now for certain people across the globe. We want to say that we support you and we definitely understand the situations that you're going through. We pray that things get better for you. We pray that humanity reigns over everything else. We also pray that there's no war. We do know that in situations like this, it's oftentimes that we look for other things to believe in. And throughout the globe, people have looked at cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, DAO, the whole decentralized ecosystem that has been brought to you by blockchain. So we're looking at this technology to fulfill voids that unfortunately us as humans cannot address or fulfill. And with that said, I want to introduce all of you once again to the International Women of Blockchain event. This event is a month-long event. It's a virtual event, as y'all can see. And in this event, we will be showcasing various activities throughout the year. I'm sorry, throughout the month. It feels like a year, but it's throughout the month. And you guys will be able to tap in to the different opportunities, tap into the committee members, as well as the ladies that we're about to showcase. I'm really proud of all of our committee members and the things that they brought into making this event successful. I know that it's not an easy task, but I just want to say thank you to each one of y'all who are here today, as well as those of you who aren't here today. I also want to say thank you to the speakers that you're about to see. Please go ahead and tap into it. We do also have a Discord. Our Discord is listed down there and is streaming. So make sure you join our Discord, join the conversation even after the event ends, and get ready for the next day. All throughout this month, all throughout the week, we are going to have something featured for you. Monday is Mind Your Money Monday, which will be brought to you by Miss Nigel Roberts. We have NFT Tuesdays, which is today. NFT Tuesdays is all things NFT and or non-fungible tokens. And that will be hosted by myself, as well as our wonderful hosts, Lavina and Natasha. We have Worldwide Wednesdays, when Worldwide Wednesdays is another great day that you want to tap into. And Worldwide Wednesdays is community feel. And we're going to have everything that relates to the Web3, as well as the way that we governance and move around this space. Then we have Table Talk Thursdays. Table Talk Thursdays is another great day where you get to tap into the different type of individuals that the women that are presenting. And then they're going to have discussions. There's going to be panel discussions. There's going to be opportunities to dive deep into various use cases that are being built with this technology. We have Futuristic Fridays, which is brought to you by Nicole right next to me. And Nicole is really excited to bring you Futuristic Friday. You're going to have all kinds of metaverse experiences that you never thought was imaginable. There's various different type of metaverses there. And by the time this event ends, you will know the difference between centralized and decentralized metaverses. And you'll be able to see why your kids, if you have any, are very much interested in games like Roblox, Minecraft, etc. Then we have Super Sponsor Saturdays. Super Sponsor Saturdays will bring you all kinds of talks, as well as features that incorporates our sponsors, as well as incorporates ways to market and PR. And so we have individuals that's going to be out here giving you tips to improve the way that you market your project, market your pieces, and market yourself. And then we have Self-Care Sunday. We understand that it's very important for us to be able to take care of our mental health. When we navigate through this space as well as outside, we know that so many things are going on. We're still in a pandemic right now. We're still going through ways of how to manage that. And it's very important for our mental health to be intact. So you're going to learn to recenter yourself, learn to meditate, learn to even do some yogas, and doing various activities to help you mentally. And with that said, I really want to thank everyone for joining us, all the wonderful committee members. I wanted to thank all the speakers, and we will get started with the event. So thank you, everyone, for joining.
Hey, everybody, we're going to hit a really quick intermission while we get everything situated. We appreciate you guys for being here. And after these messages, or after this little brief intermission, you will see our wonderful hostesses, Natasha and Lavina.
Hi, Natasha. What a way to introduce this event. We're really thankful to all the committee members who's been an integral part in terms of this. So why don't you take it away and kick things off?
All right, so the next segment we have is called What the Hell is Blockchain? And so we're going to be bringing up some co-presenters that's going to give you the basics of blockchain.
I love that question.
So this is a question that I thankfully get to ask every single Thursday, and that is where you can find all of us. We are in the blockchain BWBC, Black Women in Blockchain, and that is where you can find us every single Thursday as we are having rooms on Clubhouse. And now, if you don't know, then you need to know. Go download Clubhouse on your phone or even on your desktop and take part in that conversation, because there is some real education that's happening out there from experts like this one and this one next to me. So please go ahead and come hang out with us, because every single week I get to ask Miss Yinka, what the hell is blockchain?
Yes. Thank you very much, ladies. It's very exciting to be here and to be able to feature that. I want to say that I didn't get to really introduce myself, which in the midst of everything. So my name is Olayinka Adenaran. I'm the founder of Black Women Blockchain Council. Black Women Blockchain Council started in 2018 with the necessity of making sure that Black women does not get left behind in technology, particularly the blockchain technology. Wanted to make sure that there's opportunities as well as facilitate pathways for us to be able to be involved in this space. And since then, we've been doing a whole host of things by providing education, as well as providing opportunities for Black women to become blockchain developers. Last year, we partnered up with Consensus in order to start that program. And our program is 2 tracks. It allows Black women to become blockchain developers, as well as become knowledgeable about blockchain in case they do not want to be the developer track. They want to have the non-technical understanding of blockchain so that they can take it back to their industry and be able to apply it or help their organizations apply it and build out their infrastructure. It's very important for Black women, as a Black woman myself, to be involved in this ecosystem. And I'm very excited to be able to present that particular program will be available in Q3. So that's an exciting feat. And also, one of the things that I'm passionate about is making sure that women overall internationally does not get left behind. And having this showcase or this event is one of those ways that we want to make sure that you guys are aware that there's a lot of women represented in this space. So with that said, yes, I do have a popular room on Clubhouse called What the Hell is Blockchain? I know that's everybody's question when they hear about this technology. This particular question has been repeated so many times, and I felt that there was a need for it to be the title of the rooms that I host on Clubhouse. So what the hell is blockchain? Blockchain is a decentralized ledger technology that allows us to build on the lack of trust that we have, because we're trusting that the technology will be able to facilitate that trust between us as individuals. The technology itself is secure. It's built off of cryptography, which is a series of hashes that allows you to encrypt and decrypt the data while it's in transit. And then when it hits its destination, it gets decrypted and the recipients get to receive that information. The technology is a ledger. It is a distributed ledger technology, in where we can, all over the world, anyone from anywhere can basically be able to trace and track the movement of that data. And when I say data, essentially means that anything that's valuable to you. A lot of people associate data with their cryptocurrencies, some people their NFTs, etc. And so this data, you're able to track it from point A to point B. Because of the cryptography, the transactional aspect of the data from point A to point B allows us to ensure that the data is immutable. Immutability really means that no one or third party can come and penetrate the data, manipulate the data, or destroy the data while it's in transit. And that way we know that there's security built into the technology, security built around the data that we're transmitting from point A to point B. The technology also allows us to have this transparency into the movements of data. And that's very important, especially in light of the days, the times that we live in right now, where government officials don't particularly believe that certain people aren't able to vote, as well as the citizens don't believe that, government officials are doing exactly what they say that they're going to do. So because of the lack of trust in our society, we're now able to use this technology to create accountability, which is very important. That accountability really comes from the ability for us to see what the transactions that's going on. For instance, if someone mentioned that they have certain funds allocated to certain groups of people, you want to make sure that that fund gets sent or distributed to the group of people. And so with the blockchain technology, we're able to trace the movements of the funds and verify whether that information or that fund gets distributed to the people that it was intended for. So we're creating accountability. The other thing about the data is that it gives us pseudo-anonymity. The pseudo-anonymity allows various people across the globe to interact and be able to participate in various aspects of the ecosystem that we're building. Historically, as a Black woman, I've been kept from certain things and been kept from being able to participate in certain things. And then depending on my demographics or my religion, et cetera, there may be further limitations. But however, when I interact in this ecosystem, I become a series of numbers. Thanks to that cryptography. The cryptography allows us to have both a private key, which is a series of numbers that encrypts your data, and then a public key, series of numbers that decrypt your data. And working in conjunction, they create that security. So having that pseudo-anonymity allows me to be able to participate and interact with people across the globe without the fear of racism or without the fear of individuals restricting my ability to participate. So we have a lot of people across the globe who are using this technology to strengthen themselves, their value in their work, as well as their creating financial freedom. And with this data, as a Black woman, I'm able to build wealth off of cryptocurrencies if I want to. I'm able to present you with my NFTs and have it sold for a particular value amount. I'm able to participate in decentralized autonomous organizations. I'm able to also participate in decentralized finance. And this allows me more freedom, more liberty than I ever imagined as a woman, and in particularly as a Black woman. So I particularly love this technology. I think we have not tapped into it fully as of yet, but there's opportunities for us to build on it And you guys will be able to hear a lot more about this technology and a lot more about the different type of use cases. And I'm hoping that that will spark some ingenuity as well as innovation on your part. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Yinka.
Welcome.
So that is what the hell is blockchain.
That is a summarized version. Yes.
Okay, so next we're going to move on to our first speaker. As we've already mentioned, today is NFT Tuesday. So all of our speakers are going to be speaking about what they're doing in the NFT space. Our first speaker will be Ness, who is a digital artist. Just a little bit of information for you while we bring her up to the stage. We want to make sure that you're sharing your experiences on Twitter and using those hashtags, and that you check in with our Discord. We're going to take you to a brief intermission, and we'll be right back. See you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. So I'm being joined on stage by my lovely, talented co-host, Lavina, who is, as she mentioned, with us all the way from South Africa. I am over here in the United States in Atlanta, Georgia, just really showing how international this event is. So what did you think about what the hell is blockchain, Lavina?
I still have many questions. I love the fact that there's so many different acronyms that we all still got to get used to: centralized, decentralized, Web3, not Web3, you know, and on it goes, right? Is there, you know, what does hold mean? You know, what's all of these wonderful things? And I think we're gonna have awesome fun trying to figure all of this out. Yeah. And you, what the hell's blockchain for you?
Well, I'm still getting a grasp. I am not from the tech space. I'm like the poster child for a person who is not a techie, right? But I've just jumped into the space and I'm super excited to learn more about all those terms. And that's one of the purposes of this event, is to bring more people in, to provide more information so it can be a more inclusive space. Today is NFT Tuesdays, non-fungible tokens. And I just love that we're going to be introducing some women who are making waves in the space as artists and as curators of collections, and the many different ways in which we are using our creativity to make changes in this space and in the world in general.
Yeah, I love the fact that so many of these celebrities have jumped on the bandwagon, right, around NFTs. Reese Witherspoon and a few others. And they're really trying to, amplify the voice and the value, within NFTs. So I'm on the opposite side of you, a little bit more on the technical end of things. But still, I just find it such an exciting space. There's so much going on all the time. And sometimes we find it difficult to keep up, right?
Right. There's changes, there's innovations happening constantly. At first, NFTs was seen as something for digital art, and that you needed to have some type of, artistic talent to participate in the space. But now it's just expanded into so many different genres. And you can have music-based NFTs, you can have video NFTs. I believe people have released books as NFTs. There's as far as in the metaverse, people are getting NFT clothes, they call them wearables. And there's all the hidden benefits. People are incorporating it into their business and ways of having discounts or special access to their websites through that. So it truly is a constantly evolving space, and it is exciting to be here to sort of ride the wave and to see how it's coming along.
Yeah, I would add to that the two fond ones that I kind of remember, obviously, is the first code of the web that was sold online as an NFT. That for me was a huge, symbolic moment. Just in terms of where Web3 has to go to next, right? Or we've had the evolution of Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and it's all been about the creators, right? And it's been about let's unleash all of this. But the other one has been around, I think the first tweet was also sold as an NFT, if I remember correctly. So nothing is a limitation.
Definitely. They say this is just an unlimited opportunity with the blockchain and all the different use cases that there have been for it, and just all of the creativity that it makes room for, because it's just really what's in the mind of the next person to know what's going to be the next innovation in the space. As I mentioned, I wasn't aware of the blockchain. I didn't know there was more than one blockchain. I did not know what NFT was less than a year ago. And now my daughter, who is she's on the autism spectrum, and one of her things, sometimes when you're on the spectrum, you have a deep interest. Her deep interest was drawing cats. And so in this short time, now my daughter has been introduced to entrepreneurship. She's found an outlet for her creativity, and it's just really exposed her to so much. And that speaks to the outcomes, the positive outcomes that come from this technology as well.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you touched on value, right? So much so, we're seeing a lot more, tech companies or startups or people just entering the space, actually adding a cause behind them, right, for everything that they're doing in the space. So it's becoming one of not only about sustainability, but a lot to do around inclusion and allowing that diversity to come through really nicely.
Mm-hmm. So we have NFT Tuesdays. I think Yinka went over our schedule a little bit. Just a reminder, we have NFT Tuesdays today. Tomorrow's going to be Wednesday. Wednesdays are going to be Worldwide Wednesdays, where we're going to have discussions about the worldwide implications and the worldwide events that are happening. Then we have Table Talk Thursdays, which would also be additional panels where we're going to have discussions with our speakers and our ladies on the hot topics, ranging from NFTs to decentralized autonomous organizations and decentralized finance. And then I'm definitely looking forward to Futuristic Fridays, when Nicole Maxwell is going to take us all around the metaverse, because as I mentioned, me and my daughter love going into these different spaces and going to all the new places. And there's just some things you can do there that you just can't really do outside of the metaverse. So I'm super excited to see where our journeys are going to take us on Fridays. And then I believe we've got a lot packed for the weekend. So we've just got so much coming ahead for this week and the rest of the month. And I'm just really excited for what's to come next.
So we're going to just take a moment and pause and acknowledge everyone in the audience and say, a huge appreciation and a thank you for being here. We really want to try and get to know you, right? After all, we're going to be spending an entire month together. So, please feel free to put down your names, put down the country that you're calling in from. We'd really love to keep you guys as engaged as possible. Just remember our hashtags is IWBEVENT, hashtag empower her, and hashtag celebrate her.
Exactly. We want to encourage participation and help us to spread the word about this event, because it's a very important event and we want to make sure we're spreading the word about it. So we thank you in advance for helping us get the word out.
Yeah, and next up we have an awesome speaker, Delek. And Delek is an interdisciplinary designer with an award-winning career. And she has been a recipient for 2 IDA, which is the International Design Awards in fashion, and has participated in one of the largest NFT exhibitions in Beijing. So with no further ado, let me hand over to Delek.
Hi.
We're
Good
honored
morning.
to have you here. Yeah, awesome. And how are you doing?
I'm good. It's a little early in San Francisco, but having a great time with listening you guys, and it was great. I really like what the heck is blockchain. So
love it. Awesome. So I'm gonna hand over to you if you're ready.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. The floor is yours.
Camera. I think you need to turn off your camera to be able to see my slideshow. Let's see. Yeah, here we are. Well, hello everyone. I'm Delek Cezanne. I'm an artist, designer, and founder. And today I'd like to share with you my design journey to the NFTs. I'm in NFT space almost maybe 6 months, but I have a quite a long design career along the way. So I'm going to go through a little bit about my background and then how I ended up with the projects. So I am a couture-fied jewelry designer, and also I design custom pieces and really high-end pieces. Quite a long time, 10, 15 years maybe. Here is some of the examples that I had. I have a fine art bachelor art degree, and then I study pottery and sculpture, and somehow end up in jewelry design. But luckily, I was in the more rare gemstones and fine jewelry, so that area particularly is more artistic, and I would say is a little bit more like a small sculptures you are creating. These examples here the flowers and the animals are really, when we created pieces, design maybe a few weeks, and then making them really takes time, sometimes 6 months, because all of them are handmade. And I usually carve the original model as a sculpture, and then I had a team of people that go through the production. And I did this quite a long time. One of the important pieces here, like the flat emerald necklace, you can see it was such a fine emerald that you can see through, that we put the diamonds behind it. And then the blue ring over there is the world's second largest blue diamond. I designed such a rare pieces, like the 5th biggest red diamond in the world, and that people even doesn't know there's a red diamond. So this was a really long time in my studio that I was doing. And coming to this point, I was really lucky, because I trained in London with a Cartier designer. It was my early career. And then when I come to America, I was lucky enough to train by the last Van Cleef designer in Beverly Hills. So I'm really classically sit down and do the drawing by watercolor, which is a lost art form right now for the fine jewelry. Nobody's doing this. So after, around this time, I also do a lot of object art. Because it goes hand in hand when you go to this high-end couture world, it's more about the art and how you create it. It's an experience. When you share with the client, and then they have their stories, and it's in a way very much like today's NFT world, that I'm gonna connect the dots when I'm showing to you my early work. So here, for example, there are these bowls. Blue bowls is a hand-carved onyx bowl with diamonds on it, and then the wine opener and the box top of it that you can see, these are custom designed for Francis Ford Coppola's wife, and a leather opener for Ritz-Carlton. Like these keys over there, you see it belonged to over 100 years old historic house in Napa Valley, which key was still working. So we make a replicate and sculpture out of it. Again, very not available to public, special projects where I was really specializing a long time. So after that, the artistic part of it, it's interesting. With the changing world, we all know the artistry and the craftsmanship is a little bit getting lost in sometime around 2010, I would say. Like, it's really hard to find craftsmanship to keep going with these projects. And also the whole world and luxury area also was changing too. So with that, I start paying attention or having more interest in digital production and how it's happening, how it's getting into my work, and then how I can incorporate it. And that actually make a huge shift, not just the digital production, also in the modern world, the manufacturing is quite interesting. And when you work really long time in such an area, you start seeing the flows a lot. The globalization and the mass manufacturing brings so much inequity in the world. And then I was really not happy with the system. So I was trying to find a way to change, like a more positive, how I can produce more positively, what I can do. That digital production came in that, and then after that, I go through the NFTs. It's just this example you see is the Fabricant. I just minted a week ago. I was a co-creator, and then invited for the season 1. This is a skin. It's not a JPEG image. People will wear this in the metaverse, and it moves. It has a special effect on it that you can actually take it with you to the metaverse. And after that, I'll show another example. This is more connected to my earlier work. This is a new platform coming up, and I hope you guys go and check it out. It's called Tree Trunk, and it is a different offer for the artists especially. It's set it up not only to sell your NFTs, it also gives you, the creators, ability to spread your authorized copies, which mean you can actually collect more royalties than one time. So in this artwork, I try to focus more on the art part of it, and then this particular centerpiece is based on a old 374 million years old tree fossil, and I really like the research and really like bringing together with the technology and the nature and everything. So it's all coming through in this world, I guess, with the blockchain and the NFTs and everything I was searching for in the manufacturing and in my art world is coming together. So I'm very happy to be in the NFT space. And going forward, I have also another project coming up. So in that project, I'm going to bring everything together. So far, what I have, the art and the environmental concerns that I have, and how it's produced and how it's affecting what impact we have in the world. I think NFTs is giving us such an opportunity that we can use them in a positive way if we really don't repeat what we were doing in the world so far. So I'm looking forward to new project that I'm going to create, and I will keep producing the art and the fashion on the side. So please follow me and feel free to reach out if you have any questions or any collaboration idea. And I think it's very exciting time for everyone to work together. And if you have any questions, are we going to have any questions? I don't know. So.
Wow, thank you so very much for that.
Yeah, I think I passed like a couple slides pretty fast. Sorry about that. If there's a question, I can go back and explain a little bit more. But are we on time?
Yes, we are on time. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this event and just sharing your beautiful artistry. It's really just amazing to see and to hear your process and how you came into the space. And I just love the mission behind your work. So I just really just want to also celebrate you for what you're doing and what you plan to do in the future.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Thanks.
Is there anything else? Okay, well, she's left the stage. And so next on our NFT Tuesdays lineup, we're going to be bringing to you Ness, who is a digital artist. Just another reminder that this event, this celebration of the International Women of Blockchain is being sponsored. And one of our sponsors is Block, and we want to thank them. As you may know, Block is the parent company of Cash App and of Tidal as well. So a little bit about our next speaker. Ness is a Nigerian American digital artist. She has a love of blockchain technology and all things Afrocentric. Her current endeavors include pushing blockchain literacy and Web3 onboarding, and she does this as an artist and is a community lead on such projects as the Meta Nights, and as a curator for the African Museum of the Metaverse, which is the first multi-metaverse museum in the world. And she's also an advisor with social media for the inclusivity-focused EQQO Gen Art project. So we're going to be bringing up to the stage Ness. Welcome.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. So yeah, while I was here, I definitely wanted to present one of the really important projects that I'm working on, which is Meta Nights. And I also wanted to present some of my personal art. So as we know, blockchain technology, it allows us to really immortalize our art on the blockchain, but it does so much more than that. For a lot of artists, this is their first time like foraying into this technical space, like a new space, like a new financial space and a new tech space. And artists are honestly kind of leading the way in this NFT space. With NFTs, it allows people to dabble in decentralized finance and other types of like blockchain technology. So it's art and it's artist led, but it's also like technology. And so it's really great. And when the opportunity arose to be an artist on this project, I had to take it because we have an opportunity to now put women of color, people of color on the blockchain. So the character that you are seeing right now is the Emissary. And this is the first of 10 characters that's going to be a part of this collection. And I'm currently on the collection's website. So I'm going to zoom out and just give a really brief overview of the project because it is like multifaceted. So there's a lot to chew on here. So I'm going to zoom out. All right. So with the Meta Nights, there's a lot there. There's data privacy, there's art, there's media, there's comics, there's merchandise, there's a nonprofit organization, and there's also technology. So basically, there's a media company that puts Africans and people of color kind of at the forefront of educating people about blockchain technology. And it's called Metaye Media. There is a data privacy NGO that's called the Internet Foundation that's been involved in writing like data privacy legislature, like the COVID-19 health bill and the New York privacy law. So those are like two things that this data privacy NGO has actually been involved in. And then there's a startup that's called MetaMe. And what they have done is they found a way to turn your data into a particle that you can own and choose to loan out to FANG companies rather than them stealing that data from you basically and putting your security at risk due to like data leaks and stuff like that, and your data being sold on the dark web. And so people who partake in this NFT project, which is like a crowd fund for these things to reach fruition, actually will be able to get to utilize this new technology first. So this NFT project, though it is art, it's a way to connect with people and kind of give people data privacy tools so that, they're kind of ahead of the game. There's also, for people who like gaming, there is a gaming aspect. So if I go further down on the website, you'll actually see some of like the utilities here. So if you get like art, you'll be able to have certain benefits with the game. This is the team right here. So you'll see that it's a team that's full of people of color. And the artists are all Black and African women. And I'll just show you, these are some of the comics. The comics are already in print, which is something that you don't really see in a lot of NFT projects that offer comics or offer this or that. The game is already in late stages of development and the comic is already done. So in this project that's led by people of color, the work has honestly been done. It's not an empty promise of this and this to be done later. It's already been in the works. And we actively, as people, buy into the project, we actually airdrop them comics. We airdrop them night cards if they've invested. We have merchandise. And here is like a quick little video of the game. Some of it. This is one of the characters who's going to be dropped in the collection later on. She's actually a bad guy. But as you can see, there's a lot with this project. There is a lot with this project. So let me go back up so we can focus on the art a little bit. So with this project, there were 4 artists that got together, and we all split up the traits for this. So like I was saying, this is the first character who's going to be dropped. Her name is the Emissary. And she is an African priestess. She's basically ageless. No one really knows how old she is. Her power is kind of like untapped. We haven't really seen the limits of her power yet. And she protects the digital realm. So in the Meta Knights universe, there is like a physical realm that we currently live in, and a digital realm where you have your digital twin who is susceptible to, you know, these FANG companies and institutions stealing your data. And as they steal your data, your digital self becomes weaker. And then as your data is stolen and your digital self becomes weaker, you kind of become weaker in the physical realm as well, which is what we do see in real life. If you are not practicing internet security, when you are moving around online, you're susceptible to getting hacked in this digital realm, which can drain your actual finances, right? So what the paradigm that's being presented in this comic series is one that we actually see in real life. You have to practice data privacy. You have to practice like security. You have to be careful when you're online. And so, yes, the Emissary, even though she doesn't show up until later in the series, and she is this high priestess that goes back and forth between the godlike being, we wanted to present her as the first drop in this NFT collection, because we don't see beautiful melanated women on the blockchain. What we see is animals, and there's no shade to any of that, but we see animals and we see monkeys wearing, you know, cloak jerseys and like necklaces and chains and stuff to represent, you know, Black and hip hop culture. And what we want to do is actually represent Blackness, Africanness, culture in a way that is beautiful and tasteful, honestly and truly. So we had to start out with the Emissary. Each of the things that she is wearing, like if you look at this headdress, this symbol you see here is a Dogon symbol. So the Dogon culture, they're an African tribe that was located in West Africa, and they had such a vast knowledge of the solar system, of space, of science, and just a really great understanding of like the world. They understood that the Sirius star system had 3 stars prior to like NASA understanding that. And it's interesting because when you look at like old, when we think about old civilizations and cultures that existed before us, we think that they were primitive and that, you know, they just, you know, kind of existed with sticks or whatever. That's the narrative that's portrayed, especially of prior African cultures. But to know that these cultures had an understanding of the space and of the star systems prior to NASA's telescopes being built tells you that that narrative is absolutely false. And that's one of the things that we want to portray with this NFT collection and with this project and with the comic as well. It centers the beauty and just the intellect of like, you know, previous African cultures. Okay, so yes, this is the first character. This is the Emissary. So if you are interested, there's a lot of information on our website, which is right here, metaknights.com. So definitely go check that out. There's a lot of information to be read. You can also search for us on Twitter and just give the page a follow, because we are going to be dropping our next character. Now, I wanted to give some close-ups of some of the art. So yes, 4 artists, 4 female Black and African artists got together and put this together. So an artist worked on the hair, Chantel. I know she's listening in. She worked on the beautiful hairstyles that you see and some of the clothes that you see and the earrings. Me as an artist, I worked on the backgrounds that you see. I worked on the neckwear and the eyewear that you see. Another talented artist worked on some of the other clothes that you see. This beautiful outfit here, this cape that you see, which is a smart cape. It's actually like a screen that she uses to analyze all the transactions that are happening on the blockchain. So she knows like exactly what's happening, and you can see it in her visor here. And she also did like the makeup and the face jewelry. And we had another very talented artist who worked on the headgear that you see here, and that's Val. So we all kind of, we looked at the comics. We were presented who the character was in all of her essence. And we got together and we were just like, let's draw it this way, let's draw it that way. We would go and draw on our own and then come back together and try to mash up everything that we worked on. And there was a lot of team building during that time, because you have 4 different artists with 4 different perspectives, and we had to come together and make a really cohesive and glamorous collection. So there were times when we had to be like, you know, I think for representation's sake and for beauty's sake, we have to cut that and do this and do that. And so a lot of thought and a lot of care went into every single combination that you see. Every single combination that you see was screened through like a QC process, so that we wouldn't have any offensive combinations or combinations that didn't do a beautiful melanated woman justice. So just so you know, everything was poured over with a lot of passion. There was a lot of intention with this project. There are a lot of Easter eggs everywhere that you go. So you see the Dogon symbol, you see the 3 stars in the eyewear, or let's see if I have a monocle here. If you see this monocle, you'll see the Sirius star system. That's what these 3 dots are supposed to represent. This necklace is actually also the Dogon symbol, the same Dogon symbol that you see in the headgear, and that may appear in the work. So if you look in the background, I'm giving you guys Easter eggs because I haven't actually broken this down to anyone. So these are Easter eggs. If you read the comic, you'll see whenever, I don't know if it's the first or second, thank you, Duchess. I really appreciate that comment. If you read the comic and you see the chapters and you see some of the characters or the main character move from the real physical realm, which is called Terra, into the digital realm, which is called Digiterra, you kind of see that they're almost in a space setting. And they're looking at the planet Digiterra, like kind of in the background. And so this background here, it kind of looks like stars, but it's actually, you don't see the roundness of the planet, but it is a planet that's dark. And these are the lights, I guess, of like cities, night lights that you can see in space when you're far away from a planet. And it's just kind of mirrored here. And we have the breadboard lines just to signify that all of this is digital. And you'll see like these recurring themes as you look through all of our art. So honestly, take your time, write down metanites.com. When you have time, definitely dig into it. There is a lot. We want to educate people on blockchain technology. And so all holders of this art are going to be invited to join us for night classes. Meta night classes, where we're basically going to be teaching them and giving them data privacy tools. So not only will they be some of the first people to be able to use the MetaMe data particle, where they can protect their data by having it particularized and choosing to lend that out for payment to the FANG companies. They'll be some of the first people to actually have access to this technology, but we're also going to take time on a regular basis to educate on blockchain technology and data privacy and stuff like that. So we're really excited because this NFT project is more than just, because we see cash grabs out there where people just draw something really quick, they make a collection, they put it out there, they take their money and they run, or what is known as a rug pull. But that's not what's happening here. We're trying to build a community, right, around art that represents people of color in a very positive, strong, and beautiful light that is full of culture and Easter eggs. And we want to educate those people that are holding this art, right? We want to form a community of people that are confident in their abilities to navigate the digital space safely, You know what I'm saying? So that is Emissary. And I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on our second character drop. So Emissary is the first character drop. Now our second character drop is going to be the main character. Ooh, who's this? This is Deji. He is the main character, and he is the second character drop, and it's going to happen sometime in March. And so what's really significant about Deji is that this is a African Black man who is represented as his normal self. There is no animal likeness. You know, you see often with these collections, you see a monkey in a basketball jersey with a necklace, and it's just like, you know, with a grill, and it's just like, they just dress up animals as Black people, and it's really, it is offensive, and it's not fair. So what are we doing? We're coming in and we're representing Black people in their beauty. Not all of the characters in this drop are going to be Black and African American. It's just Deji is the first character, and the Emissary is one of the most powerful characters, and we felt like we had to start this collection off with a bang, you know? So as you can see, this is an Easter egg. I'm not going to explain too much, but you can see his chest tattoo says hero, but it's actually HER-O. So if you want to know more about this Easter egg, you'll probably want to read the comic book. This necklace, these are military dog tags because this character is ex-military. As you can see, he's standing in front of an alley with chipped paint. This is also an Easter egg. For kind of where the character is first introduced. You can see the similar Digitarian background that was with the Emissary. And this is more of like the earth. It kind of looks like the earth because Deji actually is from the physical realm when we first see him. And so, yeah, this is Meta Nights. I am very, very happy to be a part of this project because I feel like it's truly, truly meaningful. And like I said, we are constantly interacting with the people who collect this work. By giving them the airdrops of the comics, answering questions, walking them through certain things, explaining what's up next. You can join our Discord. So if you just want to interact with us, me as an artist, I'm one of the artists on this project, and just learn more about it in general, definitely go to metanights.com. You'll find a link to our Twitter page, or you can just search Meta Nights on Twitter. Give us a follow, shout us out, and then there'll be a link to our Discord. That's like the best place to like send us messages, and we can just talk. So now that I have reviewed Meta Nights, which is a project I'm very, very passionate about, I would like to review my personal work. I like to express myself through my art, and so I actually have some new projects. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So this piece of work right here, and definitely give me your opinion, this piece of work is called You Have Been Found Wanting. So this is, it's part of a goddess series that I'm working on. I currently have 4 pieces in the goddess series, and this one is called You Have Been Found Wanting. It's the blue version. And so basically, if you can look, we see the Ethereum symbol in the hand of 2, and I call them enforcers, feminine enforcers. And we have a judge in the middle, and we have a figure that's kind of being held up to judgment. There is smoke in this space. And as you can see, there are red lights in the background, and the judge's head is swirling. So if we are to dig into this, though this space is beautiful and though there's a lot of technology, it's still lots of people interacting with each other in this particular space. And so we see a lot of the same interactions that happen in Web 2. And so we see some people that are taken advantage of. We see some spaces that are gate kept from people of color, it seems. We see a lot of boys clubs that still kind of happen. And so in this particular work, it is just my expression of how I have felt observing these things. Though there is beauty and there is beautiful, beautiful communities that happen, beautiful interactions, there is learning, there's also that dark side that we see in the real world as well. And so in this piece, I've just expressed how, I see what's happening. And, and that's why I have the judge being a woman and the two enforcers holding the Ethereum symbol being women, women of color, as you can see, calling the boys club culture, putting them to the test and just, calling them to judgment. So this is the first edition. I have another version, which is You Have Been Found Wanting Red. And I made this one a 1-of-1. So this blue, I actually have 5 copies of it, 5 editions. They're both at 0.15 ETH. But I made just a 1-of-1 of the red. And I actually chose these colors because I felt like it expressed that initial rage. I'm an artist. I have to put my feelings out onto the canvas. I don't really like to use my words on Twitter sometimes because those things can be they can be misinterpreted. But I feel like if I put it on a canvas, it can't be misinterpreted. The judge is there. The colors are red. And I feel like, if you look at it, your interpretation of these colors might be rage or judgment or, I feel like it gets straight to the point of how I felt. So this is a 1-of-1 that is available on OpenSea. Now I'll show you the first work that I ever minted. Well, actually, this is the second work I ever minted on OpenSea, and you'll be able to see the difference. This was the next one I'm about to show you was minted last year in March, and you'll be able to see the difference and the growth, my growth as an artist. But this is called Pay Attention to the Whispers. And so there was an interstellar phenomena that was kind of occurring. In the United States, I think was it the CIA? They were about to release videos of I think, what is it called? Unidentified aerial phenomena. I think it's called UAP now. Basically, we don't know what it is, but people are seeing lights in the sky. And so this was actually a phenomena that I saw that just kind of astounded me. Multiple people had videos of it. And so if you look, there are words inside each of the lights. And so this one says a new era. If you look very carefully, you'll see the word love hidden inside one of these lights. And this piece of work is called Pay Attention to the Whispers. And yeah, it is one of the first pieces that I uploaded. I wanted to basically have my timestamp on the blockchain. So what's great is that on Etherscan, all transactions are recorded. Every mint, every time that you put something up is recorded. So I have done that. I've put my work on the blockchain. And then I have the last one, which is a video with audio. And I'm going to see, I hope that you'll be able to hear the audio as I play it. But this last one is called If We Help Each Other, Who Can Hurt Us? And it's just supposed to emphasize that together and united we stand, right? And separated we fall. So I'll go ahead and play. All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the audio off. But this piece is really special to me. I, as a person, I tend to watch my words, and I like to just express how I'm feeling concisely. I don't like my words to be misinterpreted, and I don't like my words to cause pain. I really would like, even when I'm angry, and even when I'm having confrontation with someone. I want the end of that confrontation to be understanding, like helping each other to understand. So if you look in this particular piece, we see a fairy, and I call them Incibity Fairies because I have another piece of African lore here, but helping each other. One has fallen. And as you can see, like on their mouths, they have these hearts. Okay, let me explain the symbolism. Thank you so much, Fitz Finance. So if you look on this mushroom, okay, there's a lot in this piece, so I'm gonna just break it down. At the center, we see this symbol here. And this symbol is actually the Incibity symbol of Congress. So I, of course, am of Nigerian descent. And so there used to be pre-colonization. There was a written language that it wasn't necessarily super popular. It was more like a society's written language, and it was called Incibity. And each symbol had meanings. And people used it. Some people used it for incantations and this, that, and the third, ceremonies. But whenever the colonizers entered the continent, they basically said anyone participating or using this language is not going to be able to participate in our schools, because the colonizers were basically putting English schools, Christian, churches and schools and education forums and stuff like that. It wasn't just this Incibity symbol. My family's tribe is Igbo, and there were women there. They were Uli women, and they had art. They would do like body painting and paint on houses, and like every time it rained, the paint would wash off, and the body paint would just be like kind of temporary. It lasts for like some weeks, and it would like fade away. And they were also banned from being able to express themselves in their art. Once the colonizers, the colonialists came in, I'll just call them that. They're just like, this is anti-Christian. And they basically told them, instead of painting your houses and painting on your bodies, they taught them how to knit little doilies. And they were like, knit your patterns into these fabrics. And they basically stripped away a language and an art form. And there were some people that still practiced it, but it was at the expense of being stigmatized, for practicing this old thing or this, anti-colonialist, form of expression. And so I did a little bit of research. And so, yes, we have the symbol for Congress here. So what we see is the fairy on top kind of channeling this symbol of Congress as she helps a fallen comrade. Now, they have hearts over their mouths. And if you, I could probably pull this up, but one of the Incibity symbols for love is almost like an X shape, but it has some prongs on the ends of it. So the prongs are on the other side. And I also included a mushroom here because mushrooms are actually really, really cool. What you see on top is not just it, they kind of connect the forest. You can see like a forest in the background, and you can see like plants. Once they're underground, they allow trees to communicate with each other. When one tree that's like maybe of the same species, or maybe is like the daughter, like the seed, one tree has its seeds, they fall down and then the offspring grow. If they grow close to each other, their roots can be interconnected by the underground mushroom systems called mycelium. And if the offspring, or as the same species, another tree is in distress, is starving, is poisoned or whatever, another tree can actually send it nutrients underground via the underground system that's created by the mushrooms. Trees can also like fight and poison each other also the same way. So like, I'm a huge science and biology nerd. So just adding some of those facts there. But so yeah, the way that like forests are interconnected and help each other, through the underground systems of the mushrooms, I really wanted to include that as well, along with the symbol, the Incibity symbol of Congress that the colonialists tried to wipe out, and the Incibity symbol of love that the colonialists also tried to wipe out. I don't think these things can ever truly die if we keep them alive in art. And that's also why I wanted to place them on the blockchain. And so I had 2 editions available of this. I only have one available now. So if you're interested in any of my art, definitely check it out. I think my favorite piece right now is going to be this one, just because, there were some things that happened in this space. And as a person who loves technology and loves to see people learning about technology, it kind of did fill me with a small amount of rage when I would see people getting taken advantage of in this space. And I just, instead of typing anything out on Twitter that can be misinterpreted, I just put it on a canvas. And so when are the arts minted? So these two pieces of art were minted last night. I minted these just to get them ready, especially for today. This particular piece of art, Pay Attention to the Whispers, was minted in March of 2021, so about 1 year ago. And If We Help Each Other, Who Can Hurt Us? This piece of art was minted, I believe, a few months ago. So I really take my time when I'm producing art. I take my time, I draw, I take like some time away and come back to it and look at it and change things up. Sometimes I decide to go forward with animating, and sometimes I decide to keep things as still pieces just to get the emotion across. But my goal, honestly, is to get an emotion across. My goal is to make you feel something, and that's with my personal art, and that's also with the project I am on, Meta Nights. So with that being said, if anyone has any questions, definitely feel free to ask. My personal art can be purchased on OpenSea. So it'd be best for you to follow my Twitter if you want to get the link to my personal art. My Twitter handle is basically @NessRocks. So it's @N as in Nancy, ES _ROX @NessRocks. And I recently just posted my art there, and so you can find links to my OpenSea if you want to check that out. If you want to buy into Meta Nights, you would go to metanights.com. Are there any questions at all about anything that I've said?
I think we just want to really start off by thanking you so very much. I mean, this was so amazing. The love, the passion, the energy, it really comes through in terms of your storytelling. So kudos and appreciation to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So next up, we're going to have a brief intermission, and we're going to be coming back with more on NFT Tuesdays.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. There we go. Up next, we have another speaker called Jennifer, and she has been creating her NFTs since 2020, and she has co-founded a Moro collection, and this is NFT fine art, as well as a consultant. And she currently acts as the head of relations and animations. And interestingly enough, Jennifer is actually launching her own collectibles project and a hybrid course this year. The collection of 2022 literally has unique pieces celebrating iconic women throughout the history that has had a strong focus on giving back, both female-focused charities and female NFT artists. So please welcome Jennifer.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Thanks for that lovely introduction. I'll just open up my presentation now. Or do you guys do that for me? Oh, there we go. Okay, so you're right, I am an NFT artist. I've been creating my own art since 2020. Or NFT art since 2020. I'll go into that a little bit in a minute. I'm also the co-founder of Moro Collective. We're NFT curators and consultants. I'll go a little bit into that as well, but my main focus of this presentation is this series of collectibles that I have coming out later this year. It's called Hybrid Corpse. So I'm going to take you through the whole process of where it all began. Just a little bit about me to begin with. So my NFT name is Stelkart. I'm from Australia. I studied fine art in Germany at the Bauhaus. Right now I live in Dubai, and I've got 3 kiddos. They're 2, 4, and 6 years old, so I'm a busy woman. I've been a traditional artist since 2010, mainly working in painting and, doing a lot of commission jobs and corporate work in an art capacity. And I started making my own NFTs and dropping them on Super Rare in 2020. And that is where this whole journey began. And I've been very deep in the rabbit hole since then. But now I'm going to rewind a little bit and take you back to 2015 when I created this digital body of work called Hybrid Heroine, which was definitely the starting point for Hybrid Corpse. So this was actually an exhibition that I had, a physical exhibition of prints that I designed using an iPad mini and drawing with my finger. And I had 25 of these, and they were all up in a gallery here in Dubai. But even at the time, I remember thinking it was almost a shame to print them. They were much prettier to me on a screen than they were printed onto paper and then hiding behind glass. So when I found NFTs, it really became the launch of my artistic career, I suppose. I'm going to talk about a few of them in detail now, just so you grasp an idea of the concept. So the concept Hybrid Heroine was basically getting in each piece of work, I was getting 2 women from different points in history and different walks of life and combining them into one character. So on the left here, you see Janice Austen, who is my imagining of a hybrid between Jane Austen and Janis Joplin. In the center, we have Angelina Boleyn, who's Angelina Jolie as a hybrid with Anne Boleyn. And then the third one there is Beyonphrodite. So she's Beyonce and Aphrodite combined. So they're a little bit tongue-in-cheek, and there's a lot of symbol and story of the individual women's lives in these artworks. And I just had so much fun making them. There were 25 of them in total. So then we're flashing forward to 2020 when a friend of mine who's an NFT collector told me about NFTs and basically listed a few of the platforms that I should apply for. And I was very blessed and was accepted by Super Rare straight away. And that's when I started to go down the path of learning animation. I learned it all on the fly using things like, YouTube tutorials initially making frame by frame animations, but later on learning After Effects. And I want to just point out my avatar here. She's been my profile picture on Twitter since I started NFTs. And this is Courtney Love as a hybrid with Coco Chanel. And I call her Courtno Chanel. Yeah, and this was really, I've got to highlight how important NFTs were for me, because as an artist up until this point, most of my all of my money that I'd made in my career was really commission based. And, I was working at corporate events and doing speed painting and painting murals in hotels. And there was never really a lot of room for my own creative development. So this was the first time for me when I started to create art that I wanted to make, that people were showing interest in and buying. So it was a happy, happy time. Now, I found this tweet. This was a tweet that I tweeted in November 2020. So I've obviously been thinking about this concept for quite some time. I don't know if anybody here has ever heard of the Exquisite corpse exercise that you do in art school, but it's basically where one person draws a head of a character and the paper gets folded, and then somebody else will draw the middle without seeing what the head looked like, and then it will be folded again and somebody else draws the feet. I've got some examples here that I must have pulled off Google at the time. And I've always loved that game, and I always saw my Hybrid Heroine series as a little bit of a kind of a play on that. And this tweet says that I was, back in 2020, I was looking for other artists that could help me to do this as an exercise just for fun. And this is, and now I want to talk about the current climate in, all of my NFTs have been one of one sort of fine art pieces, and they're not necessarily, mass produced. But what we've seen last year and so far this year is this big rise in the profile picture collectibles, and sort of there's been a lot of focus taken away from the fine art and from the enormously creative people that are in the NFT space. But that's not to say that collectibles aren't wonderful in their own right. And there's a few things that I really appreciate about some of them, so I'm highlighting them here. So this is what makes a good profile picture project, according to me. Number one, it has to be originality, which I see a lot of in crypto stellars. I don't know if anybody's seen them. But they're really fun, they're cheeky, they're, poignant, but they're mostly, I just like them aesthetically, and I've never seen anything like them before. Stella Bell is the artist, and she's one of my favorites. I really love the artistry. Artistry is another big factor for me from 1989 Sisters. I love that they're all hand painted, and, she's clearly got a very unique style, and this is a collectible series that stands out to me as something that has just solid artistry. Community obviously is a really big drive for these sorts of projects. Alpha Girl Club has a really good strong sense of community. Functionality, what I mean by that is it has a reason to exist. We want these projects to not just be about money grabbing, but have a reason to to make the money, I suppose. So if we're looking at Flower Girls, I really like their roadmap. And what they actually have is a dedicated portion of proceeds going towards buying NFT art made by children, and they have another portion going to charity. And I've taken that as a very inspirational to my own project that I'm about to start talking about. Also utility. So what does the person who's bought the NFT get as a token holder? What's something that they can keep for themselves, or what purpose does it have? And purpose, which is pretty much utility and functionality. So I'm as an artist, and also as a fine art NFT curator in my capacity at Mora Collective, I really want there to be more of a place in crypto for one-of-one artworks that we see on Super Rare and Maker's Place and Foundation and OpenSea and everywhere. But it's about, I really want the focus to come back to, supporting creatives who are finding their place in NFTs outside of, you know, the big projects, the mass-produced algorithmic projects. Is there a place for this moving forward? I hope so. We need to find a way to make that happen. But I've also noticed that there's this kind of a fight in a lot of the WhatsApp groups that I'm in, for example, between the one-of-one art and the big collectibles. You know, it seems to be like they're at each other's throats, or it's one or the other, and there's not a lot of people that I've come across that really support both. So this is where I'm going to start talking about the project that I've got launching soon. It's called Hybrid Corpse. So I've taken the hybrid from my original Hybrid Heroine series and the corpse from the Exquisite Corpse art school exercise. And I've taken elements from my original Hybrid Heroine pieces, and I've added some new ones that are a bit fresher and more current. And I've created these hybrid corpses. There are 2,022 of them. They're all unique. They are algorithmically created by a web dev that I've been working with. And they're silly for sure, and they're supposed to kind of make you giggle. They look a little bit ridiculous, but they're taken from enormously inspirational women and their lives. On the side here of my presentation, it's actually got a list of all of the women that I'm presenting in this project. So it's, you know, I'm not going to just sit in here and read them all out. You can have a little scan for yourself. But, you know, there's musicians, saints, actresses, artists, politicians, and people from history, historical figures. So that's kind of that's the drive behind the artistry here. My mission with this project has a lot to do with the roadmap. So firstly, I wanted to create a visually interesting female-focused project. I think I've done that. I want to support charities for sure. The one that I've picked to start with is the Malala Fund, which is a huge advocate for global women's education. I also want to support, you know, I want to be environmentally friendly, although I'm planning to release this on the Ethereum blockchain. I'm very dedicated to offsetting the carbon of every NFT that we create. And this is something that we do in Moro Collective as well. So I'm used to it, and I've been doing it for quite some time. In Moro Collective, we sort of calculated that one NFT, give or take, takes about 1 ton of carbon over its life. And that's including, you know, it being traded a few times and minted and, you know, bid on. So 1 ton of carbon can be offset very easily with a company called Offsetter, which I use. And 1 ton of carbon is only about $10. So something that we could all consider doing for all of the Ethereum NFTs that we create. So I'm dedicated to doing that for all of the NFTs that get minted from this project. Another big important part for me will be creating a supportive community within the project that has a way of boosting the sales of one-of-one NFT art. So basically a portion of it I'm dedicating to charity. I'm offsetting the carbon for every single NFT. And I'm also dedicating a portion of the revenue to go towards collecting and buying fine art NFT pieces that are by predominantly, not exclusively, but I'd really like to have an aim on focus on female artists and emerging art. Oh yeah, this just, I skipped ahead a little bit accidentally, but Offsetter, this is the company that I use for all of my carbon offsetting, and this gives you an idea of where the money actually goes for them. So conservation in Amazon, forest protection in Brazil, yeah, wind energy in India. This is just a few examples of things that they're putting their money towards to make us all feel a little bit better about Ethereum. And the Malala Fund I've already spoken about as well. I'm not dedicating solely to the Malala Fund, but they're definitely where I'm starting out. And as the project develops, I'll probably be adding a few more charities as well that I can donate to. Here I'm putting together my roadmap. before anything is released and available for minting, I'm going to make the pledge that I've basically been speaking about so far, which is that I'm going to be offsetting the carbon and donating to charity, and to also putting a portion towards buying NFT fine art to support the artists. So once we get to 25% sold, that'll be 250 tons of carbon offset. And, you know, this is where also I'm going to be talking about the utility. So once a few people own these pieces, these hybrid corpse NFTs, as a token holder, as a holder of one of them, you are now eligible to nominate up to 5 pieces of fine art to be considered for the vault. The vault being the collection of art that we start buying with the proceeds that are put aside for the art collecting. So there'll be it'll be called HC Vault, and it'll be a collection that builds up over time. So if you're a token holder, you'll get to nominate up to 5 pieces. It can absolutely be your own work, or somebody else's, somebody that you're mates with, or some art that you've seen somewhere that you think deserves attention. I'm also going to be looking at getting guest curators, paid guest curators, to be the ones to choose from the nominated artworks, because I don't want this just to be, you know, me picking the art that I like, although that does sound fun. So I'm also going to be open to accepting nominations for the guest curator spots from my token holders. And then as the roadmap continues, we'll just keep donating, keep offsetting carbon, keep acquiring more art. Once we get to the point where it's 100% sold, you're looking at us having offset 1,000 tons of carbon, donated 32 ETH to charities, spent 32 ETH acquiring one-of-one fine art by female NFT artists predominantly for the vault, and also having paid 4 guest curators for their time and their efforts. Not asking anybody to work for free. Ain't no one got time for that. So as a token holder, we've just been through this, but there are a few things that you're going to receive, and one of them is full support from me and from the Hybrid Corps project, and that might mean follows, retweets, advice, community support. Whatever I can give to my community, I will, and I would really like to support each and every token holder to support each other as well. I keep saying this. I've been saying this since 2020 when I first joined this space, and it's a rising tide lifts all boats. Something that I love about the female NFT space is that everybody's really supportive. You know, I've been a member of WOCA since the beginning, and it's really, really beautiful to see. So let's all support each other. Every token holder will also have the ability to nominate, which we already spoke about, NFT artwork to be considered to the vault, and they'll be able to nominate themselves or somebody else for a guest curator spot as well. Moving forward, we're going to end up having this vault. My plan for it is to have all of the work potentially for sale, and put any secondary sales revenue back into buying more art, so it becomes something that sustains itself over time. I also have an idea to move on to Hybrid Corps Edition 2 down the line, which would mean a similar concept to what we've got so far, using different elements and different features of different drawings and pulling them together into crazy characters. But it would be lovely to be able to use the art that we've collected in the vault, with the artist's permission, of course, to create the different states of the different layers of the next project. So that's my plan. This is my logo. This was made by a friend of mine who's also with me at Mora Collective, and she's a branding genius. And the Hybrid Corpse is supposed to look like a piece of paper that you can fold, which is from the original Exquisite Corpse concept. My website is there, hybridcorpse.com. It's coming soon. I've got to say now that none of these are actually able to mint yet. I'm still working on the dev stuff, getting the minting website together, and obviously I need to build a lot more community. But where you can all help me right now is by just following on Twitter. It's twitter.com/hybrid_corpse. I didn't think that through when I chose the profile name, but that's a double underscore there. So please join me on Twitter, join the community. I'm going to make a lot of announcements from there, and I would really appreciate everybody's support. So does anybody have anything they want to say? Any questions or before I bugger off?
Well, we just want to say thank you so much for being here. We just love what you've just shared with us and your mission behind your work. And we just want to celebrate you and all that you're doing in the space. So thank you once again for being here, Jennifer. Do you have any last words?
Nope, I think I'm done.
All right, well, thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, and I think we're going to go into a brief intermission, and then we'll be back with some more artists for you guys. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. So next up, we're going to be bringing you an NFT artist. Her name is Mel, and she's also a writer and a poet. But before we bring her up, we just want to say thank you for participating in this event. We can see your comments, and we're so happy that you're taking this opportunity to make this a truly interactive experience. And we do want to remind you that if you join our Discord, once this broadcast is over every day, you can still connect with our speakers. In the section of Discord, it's called Speaker Connect, and you'll be able to have conversations and ask questions there, as well as we have a section in Discord called Celebrate Her. And that's where you'll find bios for our speakers, our committee members, and information about a special NFT collection we've created for the event. We also need to make sure we say thank you to another one of our sponsors, which is Hero. And Hero is a company that builds developer tools. You can find out more information about them at their website, which is hero.so, and that is HIRO.so. So without further ado, a little bit more about our next speaker. So Mel, as I mentioned, she is a writer and a poet. She is working with the African Nft Community, where she is an administrator, and she is also a member of the Protein DAO. So welcome to the stage, Mel.
Hi, thank you so much, Natasha. Hi, everyone. My name, as said before, is Mel Melissa Allen, but I'm known as Mel in the NFT space. I am a writer and a poet and a collage artist here in the NFTs. I've been doing this for a little over a year now with collections on OpenSea as well as on the Tezos chain on object.com. My mission truly for NFTs and for what I'm doing and working on in this space is to spread themes of wellness, as I do have a psychology background, as well as to really create access and equity in this space. There's such a beautiful and amazing opportunity that the blockchain holds. And I really do hope to support and champion a lot of our marginalized and underserved communities. As mentioned before, I am a member of the Protein DAO, where we're centering and focusing on good holistic growth for industries and individuals. So we make sure that what we're doing here on the blockchain, since it is going to last forever, that we are having the greatest and most positive impact that we can for the human experience and as technology begins to advance. Yeah, so a little bit about my work. Personally, as a poet, I do short form poetry and prose on chain so far, as well as spoken word pieces. And again, my goal is to just highlight the human holistic experience and to promote themes of wellness. I hope that when people are engaging with my work, that they are feeling seen, heard, and understood. As a Black woman, I do also exist at the intersection of many marginalized identities. And it's been a goal of mine to give people the confidence boost and the shed light on people who sometimes go unseen or unheard. I have actually a full-length poetry collection on the Tezos chain on object.com, and it's called Something to Say. That collection features over 50 poems. And again, the theme really is just making sure that I'm using my voice and encouraging others to do the same so that we can all kind of create a more equitable and diverse and inclusive blockchain existence. Yeah, so speaking of just diversity and inclusion, I work with the African NFT community. And as we're going to get into these slides in a bit, essentially what our goal is to incubate artists from the African continent, as well as artists who are in the diaspora. And we do this by providing educational resources and by talking to artists one-on-one to get a better idea of what their hurdles might be or what challenges they might be facing, getting access to cryptocurrency, getting into the NFT space, having access and education around Web3 in general. So that way, as many people from the African diasporan community are able to benefit from what is going on here, this amazing revolution that's happening on chain, right? So our focus really is just to get as many of our people on board and educated and understanding the opportunities that are here for them as possible. And we started that journey through NFTs. So right now we are incubating over 600 artists, I believe, and each of them from all over the world. In the United States, as I mentioned, on the African continent, we have a lot of members from like Europe and Asia as well. And so really what we're doing is trying to create this kind of like onboarding platform for all of our artists so that way they can come here and play, essentially, right? NFTs kind of are this fun place where we're all able to express ourselves and create freely. And we also want to make sure that everyone is being compensated for their cultural impact and compensated for their art and what they're doing, and not just now, but later on into the future. And thankfully, blockchain technology allows us and affords us that opportunity. So currently, we are working on transitioning into a DAO structure. And our first initiative on this journey is this collaboration with I Am Not Art. I Am Not Art is a gallery in Chicago. They also have a metaverse gallery, and we've partnered with them to create this Paradise exhibition, and it's a celebration of African art. And as it is Women's History Month, we are highlighting 22 Black women identifying artists who are in the space from our community as well as outside of our community. And this is just to empower and celebrate Black women artists and to, again, improve the equity in the space. So a lot of the research and statistics that have been coming out over the last year that I've been in NFTs have overwhelmingly shown that men dominate the space. and they are also the top selling artists. And so within that smaller percentage of women who are actually selling and making a profit from their work, Black women make up a very, very staggering minority in that community as well. And so we want to take this time, as it is the first day of Women's History Month, to really highlight and champion these women and make sure that they're getting the platform that they deserve, so that way their art can be seen and heard. And so, as I mentioned before, it is an IRL exhibition. It's in Chicago, featuring I Am Not Art. It's at their gallery studio, and there will be 22 women in the physical collection. And we also have a metaverse exhibition that is going to be featuring 40 plus women. It's on crypto voxels, and there's a walkthrough, and it's very beautiful and well curated. A team member of mine, actually, Abiyua, is the one who curated this exhibition. Abiyua is a multidisciplinary artist who also works with the African NFT community. She's one of our fellow admins and a phenomenal woman as well. And so she was able to curate and bring together some of the artists from our community who were able to create work for the show in time. And so we have a lot of artists. You guys feel free to write down their names and check them out. These are amazing, amazing women across all disciplines and art forms who are just doing great things in this space. And so with this platform, with African NFT Community, and with this partnership that we're doing with I Am Not Art, we are just hoping to, again, create a bit of equity in the space, right? To highlight and champion the people who are going unseen, who are doing the hard work, and who have been in this space for quite some time and are, doing their best to showcase their artwork and to make a living off of the work that they're creating. Majority of these artists are like one-of-one artists, and we know that at the moment the space is not super favorable for one-of-one artists. And so we hope that throughout the month we can begin to highlight more women. And so we are starting just with this initiative. Again, this is going to be a collaboration with I Am Not Art, and it is on crypto voxels as well as the physical show, which is in Chicago. So the dates for that, the show is going to start on March 4th and run until March 11th. We are currently running Twitter Spaces, so if you follow us on Twitter at African NFT Club, let me make sure that was clear. We are running Twitter Spaces where we're talking to the artists and really getting a feel for what their experience has been in the space, and especially as Black women, and what their art is speaking to. The theme for us was paradise, and the majority of the women are talking about their own personal experiences. And a lot of them, their aspirations and what they hope to achieve through NFTs, and what some of us have been able to achieve through NFTs. And so I would love it if you guys would show your support for these women and check out the art, whether it's on crypto voxels or if you're in the Chicago Park area, just to go through and to show these women some love. Because as the space continues to build out, we want to make sure that we are being very intentional about shedding a light on those who may go unseen in the IRL world, and making sure that they are seen digitally, just like this conference here, right? We're highlighting all the women and the amazing things that we're each doing throughout the ecosystem and throughout the blockchain. And I think that that's one of the more powerful things that we can do with this platform and this really poignant and beautiful time that we're in. So that's, again, our first initiative as we're transitioning into a DAO. As you can see on the screen, there's a timeline that's going through. But in the meantime, I do want to discuss a little bit more about the African NFT community in specific and what it is that we do. So again, we are making sure that we are serving the underserved communities. And so there are a lot of artists who are a part of our community who either don't have easy access or don't have access at all to cryptocurrency. And therefore their barrier to entry into NFTs or into blockchain is super high, and it's not insurmountable, which is why we all come together as a collective and we make sure that we are able to provide them with the information and the necessary tooling to navigate their personal experiences, right? And so within the African NFT community, we do educational forums. We provide educational resources. We also provide opportunities like this, partnerships with galleries. We also have another one of our members, Lana, who did a gallery exhibit in Senegal for a lot of the African NFT artists as well. And so it's just a vast, and the ways that we can help people are a lot more than simply telling them about the space. And we also try to account for the fact that people have different hurdles and different barriers to entry, right? And so just meeting people where they're at and providing help and assistance in any way we can, whether that's with minting fees or like partnerships or tooling and artistic resources and things like that, just to ensure that as many people as possible are able to enter into the space and really reap the benefits and the rewards of what NFTs and what cryptocurrency can offer. Yeah, so that's essentially it. Again, that we are at African NFT Club on Twitter. Feel free to tap in with us. We do Twitter spaces all the times, and we're always engaging with the community. And we'd love to hear more feedback, or if you have any ideas for initiatives that we can take, we'd love to hear that as well, as we are transitioning more into a DAO structure going into the rest of the year. We would love to get more community feedback, and we'd love to also continue to incubate artists from all over the world. So you don't just have to be African, you can live literally anywhere in the world. And we'd love to help you and hear from you. Thank you guys so much.
Wow, that has just been so mind-blowing. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that part with us. It's been amazing to actually learn about your journey and, the stories behind it. Really appreciate your time and joining the community. Right now, we're gonna allow everyone to get a bit of a stretch, whether that's a yoga stretch or a quick grab of after this intermission.
All right. See you back here soon.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you got a much needed stretch. Up next, we have another amazing speaker who joins us all the way from Brazil. And she is known as a lens-based artist. And she is a member of the Goddess NFT world. So please help me in welcoming Daisa.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me well?
Hi. Yeah, all good. And how are you?
Oh, great. I'm good. I'm a bit nervous, but okay.
No need to be nervous. It's everyone just chilling, getting together and having a good old conversation. So we'd really love to hear about your journey. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I was invited to talk, and actually I have 2 talks, but today I'm going to talk about my journey because, well, basically NFTs did change my life. I'm moving to Germany in 2 weeks, and so I am trying to see my slides here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, good. So I am Deisa TJ, or TJ in English, I think, and I am a lens-based artist. So I wrote everything so I don't lose myself. I can get easily distracted. So about me, I'm a lens-based artist from Brazil. I am graduated in cinema and audiovisual, and I worked for around 8 years with video editing, cinematography. However, I didn't find myself getting into the market, especially here in Brazil. So I started photography, and later, during the pandemics, I got really into photo manipulation. This is one of my pieces. It is a self-portrait also. And I'm currently enrolled in a master's degree in photography in Berlin, and that's all thanks to NFTs. Because before that, I would not get enough money for that. So the NFT sales got me through that within less than a year. So I sold over 40 NFTs in Ethereum, and we will get back to that because I also sold in Tezos. So before NFTs, to contextualize, I am from a very small town from the south of Brazil, almost Uruguay, and I was an unemployed artist, and I still am. I still am. And I had no prospects of freelance jobs or what to do. I had to take, bad freelance jobs for a very, very low money. And one day I gave up. And to be honest, I gave up many times in my artistic career. So I was in a bad place, and with the pandemics and all, I know everyone was in a bad place mentally and financially also. But last year, NFT happened. In March of 2021, I found the term NFT in Twitter, and well, I saw probably a few times before I really got into that. Oh, am I here? Okay. And in April, I finally joined because I was studying for a few weeks because I didn't know what cryptocurrency was. I just heard Bitcoin a few times. I had no idea that Ethereum existed and how to navigate this world. I'm still learning though. So in April, I joined a Discord server. I got a foundation invite from a Brazilian. Both were Brazilians that onboarded me into that. And I had no money for gas fees. Like less than a year ago, I didn't have like $50, which was kind of what I had to mint and list an NFT. And someone that I barely knew from Slovakia, I think that's how I say in English, Slovakia, sent me the money. He got my address, my MetaMask wallet address, and sent me. And he was like, now you can mint your piece. And that's when these amazing communities started changing my life way before, like, I was just joining. So in less than 2 hours, I sold my first NFT. I minted and listed, and in 1 hour and 40 minutes, I sold this piece, Drop of Water. And that's how everything started, because before that, I was researching and trying and seeing if it was something that I could go on. But, well, I was not sure. But since I sold my first piece for, like this one, for $1,000 at the time, I could give myself time to fully enter the NFT world. So I did. I invested my time learning, building, and connecting with people, which is the base of the NFT community. And I'm going to be talking about NFT community throughout all the time. So in between the Ethereum sales, I joined Hikanunk, which is another blockchain and another coin. Like a woman before was talking about the different blockchains. And also I didn't know, so I had to research how to join this Tezos game, and I made myself a challenge to do one art per day and give myself time to improve artistically as well. And it was a very nice a challenge, difficult one. And the first week was nice, and then it was hard, and then it was enjoyable again. And it also gave me more money to go out through the months that I did not sold any pieces in Ethereum. So I sold out a lot of pieces, and some of them were not sold out, but then I burned eventually. And that was a nice experience, I would say, that generated interest and engagement. So it was good for me to grow in Twitter. So I'll pause here for a love story, because I found my significant other in the NFT in the Discord server that I joined in March, and we're currently in a 8-month relationship now, and it is thanks to NFTs. Otherwise, we wouldn't meet probably. So not long after that, one of the things about NFT that is important to talk about is to learn how to read the market, what is going on. And I would not advise people to change their style or to pursue a trend that's going on. But if there is a trend that you fit in, that you have material, to use that wave to, surf, to navigate. So there was a photo boom collection. It was around August of 2021, and I have this body of work, and I dropped the faceless photography collection, and I basically sold out in 5 days. It was not a high amount of money. It was cheap, kind of cheap pieces. I was testing the grounds, and that was one of the good compliments I got from the collectors. Because another thing about the community is that, okay, I have great relation with a lot of artists, but I also have this possibility of talking directly to the collectors. I can talk to them. I can find them in the Twitter usually, or through email, and have a conversation. That is something that I don't see happening quite often in the traditional world of galleries. So I had this sold out collection, officially sold out within a month, because I dropped the last piece later. But and that's some of my biggest or highlights throughout the last year that I had. I had a piece in the Cyber IO gallery that showcased 50 women, and it was the first one, Equilibrium. I was invited for Suspended Soul in October. Usually for Suspended Soul, you have to send a submission, and then they accept you or not. And I tried before, and I was not accepted. But then they invited me through a curation. Sorry. And this piece was bought by World of Women, which is, I dare to say, the biggest female-led project in profile picture collectibles. I also had a piece created by Paris Hilton, and it was like May of last year. And after, I had this last piece, which is another self-portrait to the collection Free the Nipple. It was made for the Goddesses, that is the collective of women that I am part of. Now I am a moderator with Anna. She talked here in the beginning of this event. And we made a collection. It was 35 pieces from 35 different women. Part of the money was donated for breast cancer awareness, or a research place. And it was about awareness and about breaking the taboo about the female body. And that's why I chose to make a self-portrait, because I do have breast reductions. I have big scars and all. And it was kind of a liberating moment for me. I also have a few pieces available, and these are my currently 2 collections. The inverted portrait is photography, and I use Photoshop to create those layers and to invert, or in this case, turn into black and white as well. which was again liberating. Before NFTs, I used to play only with colors because I was known for that, and people usually on Instagram did not like my black and white. So I used to follow trends, and in NFT, I can allow myself as an artist. And that thought came a little bit after that. And it's even deeper for me because most of my time, I thought that I had to make things light and nice. Although most of my pieces on foundation are from therapy, but I just needed to make it. I thought in my mind that I needed to make it a nice to see. And I thought I allow myself to create through my therapy, because of my therapy, but in the essence of what I think. So NFTs are allowing me to grow as an artist and to explore myself. Okay, so about I don't know if I'm talking too fast, sorry. So about me going to Germany. So I was about to go to United States to be with my boyfriend that I found here in NFTs. However, I had my visa denied last year, the end of the last year. So I get back to my original plan, which was my master's degree in Germany. That was always the plan. We talked about it. And even though I got a 50% scholarship, it was still quite expensive, especially because I have to prove my living costs for a year, plus pay the tuition, 50%, but the tuition. And I had almost all the money. And in the day that I got my letter of acceptance and the scholarship, Ethereum dropped like 20%, which happens, cryptocurrencies like that. And it was like within hours, I didn't have enough money. So I got desperate because that's what I do. However, I tried to find a solution. And then that's when I mobilized all the community I have created and built around me for the past, in that case, 10 months. And I did a bold move. What I did was basically create this token, which will be the people that bought this token now will have the photo of a collection of my master's degree once I finish my master's degree. So basically, the community and the expertise, or the, how do I say that in English? Well, people trust me within the NFT space enough to buy a token, believing in me and my work, and that I'm going to deliver that. And also, doing all of that allows me to actually make the masters without having to worry, or not too much. I mean, I'm moving to another continent after all, but I did that bold move. I was very insecure, and the community not only supported me in many ways, but also financially. Not everyone could buy it. Obviously, it was 10 tokens, and many people wanted to buy. I know it was kind of a high price for something that is not even ready yet. It was 0.2 Ethereum. So, but everyone helped me spread the word, talked in spaces, and within 24 hours, I was basically sold out again. So because of NFTs, I am going to Germany in 15 days now. So in the marketplace that you can find me, because I was talking about the things that I've sold, but you can find some pieces on Foundation now. I still have 3 pieces available, and on OpenSea I have, I think 5 or 4 pieces available. These are some of them from the inverted portraits, which the first one is my favorite. I don't know how is this still available. These are the ones in Foundation. They come from my therapy session, basically, because I'm not very good with words this time. So I create metaphors in my mind, and then eventually they become artworks. And I don't know how much time do I have, but I also created a Brazilian community because I found a lot of people kind of lost, especially talking about language. A lot of Brazilians do understand English, but don't feel comfortable speaking in English. And within those almost a year, I've been gathering those people together, and in our space, in my Brazilian community, we can talk in our native language and share and learn together. I also have a sponsorship for gas fees for Brazilians. I got some investors to help them. I tried to help some people by myself, but again, I have to think I have to think about me also. I could not spend all the money I was making with my community, so I got some investors to help. Eventually, I got to Brazilian investors, which is great, so we can make it even closer. And I have a weekly space in Portuguese on Twitter Space every Sunday. And and I dropped an ebook for beginners with 100 pages. It is in Portuguese, but I was working for like 2 months, so I gave all the advices I wanted when I joined, and I was kind of lost. So I gathered every information that I could for beginners in 100 pages, basically. It's not that small, but it's very complete. And the Goddess, Anna spoke before, and it is a female collective. It is a safe space for women. We have a curation. Not everyone can join. Sometimes we open submissions, and then people submit their Twitter handle, their gender identifier, and we do go through their profiles through their social media to make sure it is a woman or identify as a woman or any way possible. I am a moderator now there, and if you can give a follow to NFT Goddesses. And to finish, I promise I'm finishing. I would like to thank you all. This is my contacts, and we are dropping today in 2 hours, 3 hours. 3 hours. We are dropping a collection with the Goddesses. Right now we have 69 pieces, and all the profits from primary and secondary royalties will be donated to a Ukraine organization, and you can get all the information with the Goddesses. That's it. Did I talk too much?
No, that was perfect, Deja. And that is an amazing story that you shared with us with your journey through NFTs. And you did an amazing job. Awesome job. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. So next up, we're going to have a brief intermission, and then we're going to come back with a preview of what's to come for the rest of the month.
Natasha, I think
Can
we
you hear
may
me
need
now?
to.
Can you hear me
There
now?
we go. That's awesome.
All right, well, welcome back. So next up, we're going to be bringing to the stage one of our fellow committee members, Corey Clay. And Corey, she's come to us as a data research analysis for cryptonaires. She also hosts a YouTube show on Web3, as well as serves as an ambassador for Think Forward Labs, which is a crypto educational platform. And she's going to be giving a preview of what's going to be coming to us in the next few days. All right, Corey, you ready to join us on stage?
I am.
All right, welcome.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having me here. I hope that everybody listening is enjoying the content that they are hearing. This is serious alpha being dropped. If you don't know what alpha is, that's just great information and content that you can use to move forward in your blockchain crypto NFT journey. So I hope that you're taking it all in, and I hope everyone out there is also sharing on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform, so that other people can get in here and get this alpha as well. So let's just talk about the schedule, and we're going to keep repeating this just so you know what's going to happen and what we are offering to you this entire month. We have a weekly lineup, so you will know what to tune into, but we hope you listen to everything. So we have Mind Your Money Mondays. So we're going to be talking about how to create wealth and then how to protect that wealth that you have created in this blockchain Web3 space. We have Non-Fungible Tuesdays, which is today. You'll hear from artists, people who have created NFT projects. You'll be learning about NFTs if you don't know what that is, how you can benefit, how you can support. You'll find that out on Non-Fungible Tuesdays. We have Worldwide Wednesdays, where we will have international speakers sharing what they are doing with their projects around the world for women in blockchain. So absolutely looking forward to that. And then we'll have Table Talk Thursdays, in which we will have keynote speakers talking about Web3 and its impact around the world and how Web3 can be used to support women in the space. And then Futuristic Fridays, where we will be exploring the metaverse with our very own Nicole Maxwell. Have you been in the metaverse? Do you have your Oculus 3 or is it Quest 2? Are you ready to use it to move forward, to explore the brave new world? So we'll be talking about that on Fridays. So I hope that you are prepared, ready to go on this great adventure that we'll be sponsoring for you all month long, and that you're sharing this journey as we go. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you so much for that, Natasha.
Thank you, Corey, for that. Yes, we have a lot going on. We gave you those themes so you can always know what's happening on each day, because we know we have so much that we're going to be sharing with you. We do want to make sure that we mention our sponsors again, Block and Hero, and that make sure you're sharing what you heard today, what you saw today on your social media using our hashtags, IWBEmpower, IWBEVent 2022, and hashtag Celebrate Her. We really appreciate you guys for sharing that with your social media followers, as well as meeting us in a Discord afterwards and keeping the conversation going. So we're going to have one more brief intermission, and then we're going to come back with our founder, Yinka. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So we have rounded out a day of all things NFT. We've met some amazing artists, and they've shared with us their motivations, their hopes, their plans, and ways they want to continue to have an effect in this space through their artistry. Next up, I believe we're going to be bringing up Yinka, who's going to give us some closing statements. But Lavina, what do you think about what we heard today and the things we saw?
I'm absolutely loving it. It's been phenomenal. What a way to start, ladies. And such a way to honor her, celebrate her, empower her. We've seen all stories accordingly. It's been really, really inspiring. And
That's
how do you feel,
correct.
Natasha?
I think it's
sorry.
a great first day, a great first day. Oh, thank you for joining us, Yinka. It's your stage.
Well, thank you, ladies. I just want to chime in and say that is 100% correct, Lavina. I mean, we got to hear from various women and how they're creating their NFTs and participating in the space. And that's always enjoyable for us to hear. You know, we get to hear their journeys. We get to hear what brought them into this and the different type of opportunities that were created just by simply participating. And that's what this space is all about. You know, we're building a community. You're seeing that people are able to tap into what you're doing and helping you grow as an individual, just like Deja found out with people helping her by purchasing her NFT and giving her the opportunity to further her education. I think that's one of the most fantastic use cases, really, of this space, right? I mean, that's the ultimate use case, the ability to elevate ourselves as individuals. And I just love that story. You're going to hear a whole lot of that throughout this whole event. There's so much more that's packed, as the ladies have mentioned. And I'm just grateful that you guys were able to tap in and join us today. It has been a fantastic event. I was captivated from beginning to the end. And I'm excited about how this whole production is happening. We want to definitely encourage you to jump into Discord, connect with us, participate, and get an opportunity that for you to talk to a lot of the speakers that presented today, as well as the speakers that will be presenting throughout the event. We have so much packed, so much packed. There's people that are doing so much in this space. And, you know, I want you all to come back from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 p.m. noon. We're going to have events. We're going to have so many different women come on to the stage and present to you and give you more insight about the space. This is truly phenomenal. And I can't believe that I'm actually realizing a dream. And I'm really happy that I had these strong women supporting me, surrounding me, and uplifting each other in this whole ecosystem that we're building. So I hope you guys walked away with a whole lot of information today, and you're able to see that there's women in this space. They're doing great things. They just happen to have their heads down and they're working hard. But however, with our heads up this month, we're going to showcase a lot of the things that we've been working on. And I want to encourage all of you to tap in. Get your friends, get your family, get your community to join us every day and come into our Discord and connect, build, and network. There's so much more that's coming. Thank you all. I guess you're still seeing me. All right. Well, yeah, thank you all for joining us. I want to thank our sponsors. We have various sponsors. Our top tier sponsors are Block and Hero, which you heard a lot about. I want you guys to tap into them. These two companies felt the need to go ahead and support this women movement that we're doing, this elevation of women, this celebration of women all across the globe. And we're really grateful for their involvement, for them jumping right on and saying, you know what, this is something that we really want to support. And we couldn't be happier and just want to thank them. We also want to thank Fantasy, which is another sponsor of ours who came on board and say, yes, we definitely want to support you. And you will hear a lot more about them There's information about them in our Discord. And also Copper Seed Safe, which is a way for you to keep your seeds phrases safe. And we really want to thank them for their involvement as well, for sponsoring us. And want to thank everyone that supported us, encouraged us, and all of our community. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. See you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.